Welcome to T-Mac TV. I am your host, comedian T Macaroni, ain't a damn thing phony. Just a young local comedian from Philadelphia, born and raised, young guy from North Philly, growing up. Here on the T-Mac Show, we're here just to exhibit and just to bring to you different genres, different arts, different talents, crafts, whether if it's poetry, comedy, whether if you rap, you can play the tambourine. It don't make a difference what you do. We're just trying to bring forth and show the world different talents, different ages, different race. We're here just to show different crafts and different talents. So sit back and relax and enjoy T-Mac TV. Welcome back to T-Mac TV. I have here with me the hilarious, the funny, Philadelphia's own comedian Chase. Comedian Chase, introduce yourself to the TV.
Hey, I'm comedian Chase, and that's it.
That's it.
No. Chase, comedian Chase Lamar Smith. Facebook, Chase Lamar Smith. Twitter, Instagram, comedian_Chase. And you know, I'm here doing my thing with T-Mac on T-Mac TV.
Right.
Look at you with your own TV show, man.
Hey, man, I'm just happy, man.
You,
to God be the glory, man. Thank you, man. I just want to,
right.
I got to blame it on somebody.
I'm not saying with the church.
Just Sunday. I was
just Sunday?
I play the drums every Sunday.
You play the drums?
Every Sunday. You know this.
What was you at Saturday night, though?
Okay, no, that's a different story. That's somewhere different. But let me let y'all know here on T-Mac TV, this is an honor to interview this young fella. I've known this guy way back in 2009 when I first started doing
2009
comedy.
wasn't that long ago, though.
It was that long ago, man.
It was.
It feels like it was that long.
Yeah.
And this young fella right here, I seen him performing down at the Reef on 3rd and South. On 3rd and South. And I'm talking about, I was just overwhelmed, man, just to see cats out here really doing it big, man. And Chase, you were one of the first guys that I seen doing comedy, man.
You know, and I started, and I don't know, we always go back and forth with this.
Right.
It wasn't 2009, it was 2010. I know, we always like, in my head it's like 2010, because my first time hitting the stage was February of 2010. But okay, if you want to say 2009,
it was 2009.
We'll give it take a year. But I want to say 2010, 2009, potato.
A couple months. There was only a couple months shy.
All right, that's true. In all honesty, 2010. Okay, 2009. Who's telling?
Please give me the story? Give me the 9.
Facebook.
Okay.
Facebook is what did it. You know, I logged on. I joined Facebook, and Facebook gave me a plateau to say what I'm feeling, to say, you know, things that's going through my mind. It gave me a platform, gave me an outlet to kind of express myself.
Gotcha.
And then, you know, then the people would comment, "You're funny, LOL, ha ha, I'm dying, LOL, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera." And it's like, you know, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the attention. But then, you know, people was inboxing me and on my stat, do you do stand-up? Are you a comedian? You always got something funny to say.
Right.
I'm like, I'm not, but maybe I should just think about it.
Right.
So, you know, I took that energy and called down to the Laugh House, which is now closed down.
Right.
And, you know, I said, I want to do an open mic. No, I don't want to say the Laugh House.
But
anyway, this is on TV. Save the Laugh House. Save the Laugh House. We need the Laugh House for Philadelphia comedy. But, you know, I took the opportunity to perform at the open mic, and people saw me. And, you know, I still got my first time hitting that stage I got to record it. And it was like, you know, it was natural.
Right.
You know, I was drunk, but, you know, it was still natural for me. It was like, you know, it wasn't that hard.
Right.
But, you know, I just took that energy and ran with it.
And see, I found out to be my first time actually hitting the stage. I was drunk and I actually bombed. My first time, I bombed bad, man. My first show was on Spring Garden, Club Polaris.
Oh, yeah.
It was me, Josh Kosh, Pretty Smiles was on that show, and Blackie Whitehead. And I bombed bad. And Pretty Smiles and Josh Kosh, they pulled me to a side and they said, "Look, man, you got the stage presence, just relax."
Right.
And I came back and I tried it again. I cleaned my setup a little bit more, and it worked for me. And so I find it to be, you know, and I'm just listening to you when you were saying you was feeding off that energy. I didn't know what energies to feed off of.
Right.
I was just going off of thinking that I'm funny.
The difference is probably because, like, for you, it's like you was going into this as your first time. For me, I always felt like I was famous in my head. So it's
right.
All it is like an extension of who I already am. Like I've already been famous at some point, I think. I hope.
So like, what is like your style of comedy? Who would you, not which comedian, you know, famously you would compare yourself to, but what is your style of comedy?
For me, comedy is a way for me to relive my life but through a funny way. You know, I don't really look to write jokes. All I do is tell my story.
Exactly.
Because we all go through similar experiences. But you know, it's like, you know, if I say something, like, we can sit here and have a conversation about child support. There's nothing funny about child support.
It's nothing funny.
But coming from two men that experience the same thing, we can find a lot to talk about that's going to be humorous. Like, oh, it happened to you, oh, it happened to me too, and we go back and forth.
Exactly.
That creates humor.
Gotcha.
For me, humor and comedy is what people can relate to, or you either got to paint a picture to depict, like, you know, you have to paint a picture so vivid that they're following this journey with you. So when something funny happens, then they can pick right up on it.
Yeah. See, and Chase, I see that's what I think connected me to you, because you always had a positive mind, and you always were who you were when I met you back in the day.
Right.
I remember. I think the first time I seen you perform, you were doing. That's when you were doing characters.
Yes, I don't want to talk about that.
Why not?
You know what? Because
Chasita.
Come on, don't do that.
Okay, but you know what? Listen, Chasita was hilarious.
She was.
She was hilarious.
He was. You know, it was. And what that was it was like, I think that I'm creative. Well, I know that I'm creative, and that was an opportunity. Hosting the comedy shows at the Reef every month gave me an opportunity to explore my creativity.
Right.
So it's like, okay, let me find a way to take the pressure off of me as a host.
Right.
And find a way to engage the crowd through different characters.
Now, see, you say you was jealous of me. I was jealous of you. See, because when I got up on the stage, I was just only T Macaroni.
Right.
You had Chase, and then you had another character.
Yeah.
So I envy that, because that takes a lot of craft, and that takes a lot of skill, man, to actually get on stage and to.
It's a shame that I stopped doing that, because I actually practiced and trained for that for months.
Right.
Before I ever introduced it.
Right.
You know, like I actually, and for people that don't know, Chasita was a character that I did. It was a gay character.
Right.
That was more feminine than anything, like kind of what is it called? Flamboyant.
Flamboyant.
Yeah, flamboyant. And you know, I went as far as contacting flamboyant gay people that I knew to get dialogue. You know,
I didn't know you were that far.
I went really far, man. I went undercover. Like, you know, I was like, am I going too far? I don't know. So it's like, you know.
I don't know.
Really? But no, it's like, you know, so it's like I don't do anything. I don't half step anything.
Right.
Because it's like, you know, at the end of the day, this is your brand. So even like you said, Chasita was funny. Everybody that's seen Chasita at some point, they knew that, you know, that is funny. It was very funny.
Right.
But also, you know, one of the reasons why I stopped doing it, because it's actually on my DVD. I have a DVD out, and I got you know, Chasita on there. And my son got a hold of the DVD. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like,
it wasn't a good look.
It's not, yeah, exactly.
It's not a good look.
And it's a shame, because like my oldest son is homosexual.
Okay.
So I don't want him to think I'm mocking him in any kind of way.
Gotcha.
Like, he's not like flamboyant with it, but he is, like, you know, it's what it's his nature.
Okay.
So it's like, I don't want him to think I'm mocking him, because I love him to death. Like, I've raised him as a single parent since he was 6 months.
Gotcha.
And he's 22.
Gotcha.
So it's like, I know in no way, shape, or form want to make him feel like I'm mocking him, or, you know, or the whole stereotypical thing about homosexuals. But, you know, it was funny at the time. I put a lot of effort and work into it, but I just couldn't. I wanted to build my brand of comedy through Chase, through my stories, through my life. Like, I can tell these stories, but they won't really. I don't want them to you know, kind of not be directed towards my experiences.
Right. Now, since I've seen, you know, Chasita, and, you know, the years of going along, like, you've ventured out into a lot of different things, man.
Yeah,
like
man.
radio.
Yeah.
I can remember, actually, before the radio, you had the Man Talk.
Man Talk was awesome, man.
Oh man, and I'm proud, and it was an honor for me to even be a part of it, man, as a co-host, man.
Yeah,
it
was fun, man, and you brought so much energy to it. So for people that don't know, Man Talk is we started off as Facebook.
Right.
Started off with Facebook. You know, I used to hashtag Man Talk. All I would do was take stereotypical questions and give a male response to it, and it wasn't a typical response. It's like, you know, it was a response based off of true life experiences. So it's like, you know, why do men cheat? Because, you know, they're, you know, all right, I won't say it on live TV, but it's like, let's just say you're not getting pleasure at home. It's like, you know, so you want to go out and find it.
Right.
The real question is, how do we do things without getting caught? You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like,
right.
So
Right,
it's
right.
like, you know, you take stereotypical situations and give it a male perspective, but from a humorous perspective. humorous perspective
Humorous.
as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So you know, it branched off into the talk show, which preluded a comedy show.
Man,
and you being on board, like, 'cause when I first asked you to come, it was a one-stop shop for you. You didn't know that.
I didn't know it was going to go that way. In fact, I feel like you owe me a couple $.
I do. You know what? People came out just to see T-Mac on Man Talk.
It was, you know,
It was like that,
I ain't the
man.
one to brag, but it was like that for a minute.
I still have the shows recorded. So you know.
And you didn't, I
Of course, I'm
never
not gonna
seen
show
them
them to you.
Oh,
Like,
man.
I don't,
See,
it's like,
see,
you know, you
that's-
didn't sign a
oh, man.
release, man.
I got a sign and release. Huh?
Nah, but it was definitely awesome, bro.
Like, what would be some advice that you would have for any, let's say, up and coming comedians, man? What advice would you have for them?
And I get this question a lot because you know from yourself doing comedy, when people see you on stage, you become a symbol, and for people to be able to touch you, be able to talk to you, it's a rewarding feeling from them. So they ask you like, I want to do comedy. Where do I start?
Gotcha.
And I always tell them, try your best to either connect with a comedian and just shadow, or find ways to go to open mics, go to comedy shows, watch and observe, see what works.
Got you.
And then you have to write.
Got you.
You have to write, and you have to learn and understand, and then you gotta get out there and try.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because and you said you bombed on your first show, and if you did, you did. But you didn't bomb your first year because I was a big part of your first year.
Yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir, you
I know
were.
I know the T-Mac, the electrifying T-Mac, the energy, T-Mac stomp. I know all that stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
The
like,
T-Mac stop was famous, baby.
Not everybody have a start like you and I though.
Yeah,
Not everybody. Some people have to work at being funny because it transitions different on stage.
Yeah.
So you have to work a little bit harder. And I tell people to get out there and bust your butt until you're so comfortable with it that you're uncomfortable.
Got to get comfortable.
But that only comes through repetition. Like, you have to hit those stages as many as you want. Because I think I know my first year of comedy, my first 365 days of comedy, I performed over 250 times.
Right.
And I counted. Like I had a book and I've got all the dates and everything where I performed at because I was excited about being a part of this new journey in my life.
Right. So, in closing, man, just let the people know where you're going to be at, man, and please just give the camera and let the people know your information and how can they get in contact with you if they want to book you, if they want to contact Man Talk, if they want to, contact Happy Hour with Chase.
I know you asked me like, have I ever been on television? So let me answer that for you though. I heard you say like, Chase, have you ever been on TV? I was on BET.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did a commercial for the 2014 BET Awards hosted by Chris Rock. I did a commercial.
Okay, are you being serious?
No, yeah, you didn't see it?
Okay. No.
I'll show it to you. That was a big opportunity for me, man. Like they flew me out. I drove to DC to film it.
Right.
But here's the thing though, the fact is it was a nationally ran commercial, man.
Got you.
It was awesome, man. It was awesome. And it's like, the best part of doing that commercial wasn't for me. It was for my kids.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's for my kids because my daughter called me and she said her friends saw the commercial. I saw your dad on TV.
Right.
And she called me like, Dad, you was, No, it wasn't. It was my son.
Okay.
Because my daughter was with me when I filmed, and she was actually in the commercial as well.
Good.
Yeah, she was an extra, but I was like the main person. She was trying to steal my spotlight. I was like, nah, you can't do that.
Okay.
It's like, it's all about daddy right now. But and just recently, I got cast to be in Madame Noir, Ask a Black Man series.
Yeah, we were talking about that actually
so I'm
in the green room.
that.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
that.
So definitely give the people more information about about Chase and about the play.
Yeah,
man,
so
what you got coming up.
like I said, you can check me out on Happy Hour with Chase Internet Radio Show, Philly Hot Radio every Monday and Wednesday, 6:30 to 8:30. Chase and Laughs comedy show. I've been doing created my own comedy brand called Chase and Laughs. We do comedy shows every fourth Sunday of the month at Voltage Lounge, 421 North 7th Street. Stores open at 7 o'clock. Go to www.chaseandlaughs.com for more information. Chase_comedian on Twitter, Instagram, Chase Lamar Smith on Facebook. And, I think at the end of the month, I'll be caught up with my child support, my rears.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that.
I just caught up.
Did you?
I just caught up. There you have it on T-Mac TV. Comedian Chase, T-Macaroni. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Welcome back to T-Mac TV. Here we had the lovely, the beautiful, talented Miss Jennifer Laws. How are you, Miss Jennifer?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me on the show today.
Not a problem, not a problem. So I'm reading here on this beautiful book, Making Queen Size Moves. And on the cover, on the front cover, it's you. It's beautiful. Jennifer, can you please tell TMAC TV audience what it is and why are you on the front cover of this magazine?
Yes. I'm really excited about being a cover feature for Queen Size Magazine. I have been published before, but this is my first cover, so
Okay.
it means a lot. And also inside it has my interview, which allowed me to let everyone know how I really felt about the industry and about the moves that we were making. And so I'm really excited about that.
Cool. And before we go, any further into the interview, just to let the viewers know, she is representing for the plus size. I don't want to say big girls, but for the big girls, she's representing for the plus size women. And I think that is a beautiful thing because so many women today use their weight and, some women they're not confident with themselves. So explain to the viewers or tell some viewers that are watching, how did you become comfortable with yourself and being a queen size, if I may say?
Thank you. Well, I've always had the support of my family, so I was never subconscious about my weight. However, when I first took my first photo shoot and I posted pictures, I was excited about the feedback that I received, especially from women who look like me, who are shaped like me, but they weren't really comfortable in their skin. So by them seeing me in pictures and pursuing a modeling career, it gave them the confidence that they were looking for to try something different. Even if it's just a photo shoot for yourself, it's always nice to be able to look back and say, oh, wow, I did that. I did something different.
What part of the city are you from? Are you from Philadelphia? Are you Philly based?
Yes, I am. I'm from West Oak Lane.
West Oak Lane in the house.
Yes.
Okay.
Uptown.
Uptown and cool. So what are some schools you went to at West Oak Lane?
I went to Pennypacker and Sansom Freeman and Lincoln Hall. My mom tried to keep me out the neighborhood school. She didn't want me hanging with my friends.
Right.
So
now, do you think that was a good idea on mom's behalf to keep you separated from, maybe let's say your friends in the hood? Do you think it was a good idea? Because look at you now, you're on the cover of a magazine.
Absolutely. As parents, we make choices for our children.
Correct.
And we feel like the choices that we make are going to benefit them. And I feel that because I didn't go to a neighborhood school, it did definitely benefit me because I was able to meet more people from all over Philadelphia.
Okay.
Instead of just one local school.
Got you. Now, did you when you were younger in school, was modeling something that was on your mind? Was that a passion? Is that something that you knew you were destined to do, or how'd you get in the modeling industry?
Actually, no. I never saw myself becoming a model. It started with a pageant.
Okay.
And I entered the pageant on a whim. It was like, oh, hey, here's a plus size pageant.
Right.
And I was like, well, I'll try that. And then when I tried it, the promoter of the pageant, he approached me about modeling. I said, I'll try that too.
Right.
Why not?
Right.
And I just absolutely loved it.
Now, when I look at you and you use the word plus size, me personally, when I think of plus size, I think of just huge. And I look at you and I don't see plus size of anything. So I'm quite sure you get that a lot, do you? No?
Yes, actually, it's really funny. I've been to casting calls where they're like, oh, you're not big enough.
Right.
And then I've been to casting calls and they be like, oh, you're too big.
Right.
So I'm kind of like in an in-between stage.
Mm-hmm.
And what's funny is that in the fashion industry, plus size really starts at like a size 6.
Wow. I don't know what size that is. I'm a
That's
man. I just know
small.
about 32. Oh, that's small? 6 is
Yeah.
small?
6 is really small.
Wow.
But, in the mainstream industry, to them, anything bigger than a size 6 is plus size.
Wow. And I was also reading, we were talking backstage, you do spoken word. Spoken word, is that correct?
Yes, actually spoken word is what originally brought me to the stage.
Okay.
And I used to write for myself as a form of self-therapy, and I let other people read it.
Okay.
And they enjoyed it and encouraged me to, perform in front of other people. And at first I was hesitant. I didn't think that I was going to be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I was really nervous. But after my first time, it was kind of like natural.
And in your poetry and your spoken word, what are some of the things that you express? What are some of the things you talk about?
I talk about everything. I classify my poetry as true to life poetry,
Okay.
which means that it's things that everybody goes through
Right.
that may not be able to express themselves in the form of poetry.
Gotcha.
So that's what I write for.
And what are some of the places you perform your poetry at?
Well, I got started at Just Words,
Okay.
and I really liked it because it was an open mic, but it was like a family. Everybody was so supportive. I saw poets get up there, forget their lines, but because it's an open mic, it was all types of talent.
Okay.
They had musicians and comedians and poets, but everybody was just really supportive. So that's where I got my start at.
Okay.
But I performed at the Parks Casino before.
Okay.
When the Temptations review came to town, I performed during an intermission of there.
Wow.
So
Good, good. Well, seems like you have a lot of good looks and you performed at a lot of good places. Now, to get more into this book, I can't help but to keep staring at this beautiful picture of you. Explain to the viewers, about this book and, your spread in the book. Explain to the viewers your spread.
Queen Size Magazine is a magazine that features a lot of plus size women because that's not what you would normally see on a cover of a magazine. So it gives us an opportunity to be able to be featured and let people know who we really are.
Cool.
In addition to grabbing the cover, I'm also a feature writer, so I write a fashion article for them monthly.
Okay.
And I particularly like the interview because the interview were questions that I wanted people to know
Okay.
that, may not have heard my message.
Okay.
And you know how it is in the industry, people talk or they assume, but they never really know.
They know,
so
right,
that
exactly.
definitely gives them a more in-depth view of who I am.
Is there like a message in your poetry that you give off? And if there is, what is some advice that you would give to any upcoming, let's say, models or spoken word artists that's up and coming, young ladies and plus size women and young ladies? What's some advice you would give them?
Well, with modeling, as I said, I started out as a model and then I became a model coach.
Okay.
And from there, I went on to teach modeling. So I recently got a promotion. I'm the executive director for Thick and Thicker Models.
Oh, big ups, big ups.
Thank you. So I train models now. And the thing that I always tell them is you have to let your light shine from the inside out. Beauty is from within. You can have a pretty face, but a nasty attitude, and that's not going to work.
Yeah.
And they have to be confident and know that, when they hit the stage, they are beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, because definitely pretty face doesn't go well with a bad disposition.
No, it
not
doesn't.
at all, not at all. So, of course, before you leave us, you're going to have to bless us with just something small. Please, if you would, can you bless TMAC TV with just something small, please, anything?
Of course, I would be honored to. One of the platforms that I try to reach with my poetry is for domestic violence. I had some friends who were victims of domestic violence, and so I wrote about it. I am also a survivor of domestic violence. So when I wrote this piece, it was personal and it hit home. So I thank you for this opportunity for me to share it.
Bravo.
Okay. I remember when it first began, and you said, he only pushes you around on arguments. I tried to convince you to leave then, but you didn't. You said, he respects me in the streets and lets everyone know that I'm his queen. And he only acts like that when I make him upset. And a real man is supposed to keep his woman in check. I asked you, what kind of twisted thinking was that? And what happened to your own self-respect? Then you thought it was cute when he checked your cell phone. Simply told him, stop acting jealous when he told you what time to be home. I told you then you should have let him know that you were grown. But it's not your fault that you can't see what a real man is supposed to be, because in every relationship, you're still searching for your daddy. sacrificing your own self-pride just to take him along for a free ride. And even though I saw you less and less, my friend, I could still feel your overbearing stress. Not coming around for weeks at a time, I tried to turn a blind eye to your black eye, but I couldn't. And I begged you over and over to just leave. Sometimes you would, but you would never stay. You always came back within a few days. And every time you went back, my friend, the harder I prayed. You said it was because he loved you and needed you in a way that nobody did. He said, if you didn't come back, then he can't live. The way I felt, I told you right then and there, he could have just died, because it was like you was in a trance and believed all his lies, forgetting that I was your friend from way back when. We laughed together, cried together, almost died together. We had each other's backs, we covered each other's tracks. I was your baby's daddy, and you was mine. And now, I'm just sitting here by your bedside, trying to figure out how and why I have to say goodbye to my good friend, gone way before her time.
Snap it up, snap it up. Yes, beautiful, beautiful,
Thank you.
beautiful. Like I said, here on the T-Mac Show, we exhibit and display all different types of genre of entertainment, and spoken word goes hand in hand with comedy. So give it up for, again, Miss Jennifer Laws. Give it up.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Now, before you leave us, please tell our viewers, give us your information, let us know where you will be at next, and just tell us more about you.
Sure. Well, I'm really excited because Thicker Thicker, we're doing our first fashion show. It's a New York-based company for plus-size women, and our first fashion show is going to be May 2nd. So we're excited. We're getting ready for that. And besides there, you can reach me on Facebook at Jennifer Laws Model, or on Instagram or Twitter at Jen Laws Model.
Good, good, good. There you have it, Miss Jennifer Laws. Thank you for watching T-Mac TV, where I see you, you see me. Stay tuned for the next show. We have many more special guests. T-Macaroni signing out.